Okay, my beautiful friends, it is Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. This is my pre-market report. Let's talk. Let's see what's going on today. Let's start off with the markets. Right now, stock futures are slightly higher. But are you watching the 10-year yield? Okay, we are sitting at 2.91. 2.91 now. Don't be surprised by this. Just this past Sunday, I explained to you we were going to get above 3 relatively quickly, and it certainly appears that that is happening. I'm not concerned about this because you and I both realize we're going to settle above 3. When will I be concerned? If that continues, okay? Let's keep our eyes on this. Is it a yellow flag? Maybe. Maybe it's a yellow flag, but I'm not going to worry. It's not going to turn red, as I said. Hey, that rhymes. Before we get above 3 and it continues to rise. Okay, what else is going on? The MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, continues to climb, people. It is 180.9. Now, again, this is not a crash indicator. I don't know where some of you are getting this from. I'm checking my email this morning. Greg, you watching the MMRI? Yes, I am watching the MMRI, but get it out of your head. This is not a crash indicator. It measures risk. That's all it does. And yes, the higher risk in the market, the more concerned we should be, but also risk reward, okay? Higher risk means potentially higher reward too, but we need to keep our eyes open in this environment for some outlier, all right? That's, I think, the biggest concern looking at market risk here. Okay, with that said, let's look back over on the market. So on the back of stock futures being in the green a little bit, on the back of the 10-year yield 2.91, the dollar slightly higher this morning. Okay, crude oil under pressure, about $105, $106 a barrel. Okay, it's not a bad spot for crude. So if you just look at these few things that are going on, today so far is really not a bad setup for the market. Let's move forward here. You got gold and silver catching a bid slightly. You got cryptocurrencies higher pretty much across the board. Bitcoin back over 41,000. Okay. The fly in the ointment today is Fed President Bullard. Bullshit. Okay. The man, there's something wrong with him, and I think we all know that. He's part of one faction of the Fed that is floated out to say one thing, and then what do? They float somebody else to say the polar opposite. Now, he was out this morning explaining that the market should not discount the possibility that there will be a 75 basis point hike to the federal funds rate. I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. The market is, in my view, and I covered this yesterday, pricing in a 50 basis point hike. That's why we're seeing this surge here in the 10-year yield. It's going to get above 3 very soon. Very, very soon. And the market is taking it in stride. If you are watching this, nothing major is going on. It's just pricing it in, and the market's rebalancing itself, getting prepared for that. How I see this playing out, I see a 50 basis point hike at this point. Now, the next Fed meeting, I'm going to say, and we're looking down the pike here, it's going to be a 25. And what are they going to do is probably increase the propaganda that inflation is waning. It's coming down. The Fed is being successful with regard to their plan to increase the federal funds rate to combat inflation. And we all know this is a joke. It's a joke. It makes me laugh every time I think about it because there is no way, just by raising the overnight rate, 50 basis points, 25, a series of these things, that's going to tame inflation. The Federal Reserve has been on a mission to inflate, as we all know, like we've never seen before, ever in history, since the last meltdown, 2008. printing trillions and trillions and trillions out of thin air, adding it to a digital screen, flooding the world with dollars. And now they're trying to convince us that by raising the federal funds rate, they're automatically going to stop the inflow of dollars, chasing the same amount of goods. I'm sorry. And like I said yesterday, I showed you all those charts. We don't even have any money velocity, the rate at which cash is moving through our economy. We're dead. We're dead in the water, and this is a global phenomenon. But you see, you're not allowed to know that you must be lied to, you must be distracted and told it's this, that, or the other freaking thing. And they're going to continue the narrative, oh, it's Russia's fault, it's this, no one is going to point their finger at the Fed. You know that. Not a single so-called world leader is going to point their finger at a central bank. Well, imagine Greg Mannarino shocked there. So in summary here this morning, as I am doing this video blog, again, just prior, stock futures in the green. Okay, 10-year yield, all right, 2.91. This isn't rattling you, and it's not rattling me because we know where this is going. Relative strength of the dollar higher, gold and silver doing okay. Crypto's catching a bid here. All right, that's the setup. It's not bad. With crude oil around 105, 106, going much higher, you know that. The market likes it. The market wants much higher crude as people get destroyed in this environment of surging prices. We do have this cost of living crisis that's going on, and they're going to throw money at that too. It's laughable. Man. Crisis after crisis after crisis. I don't know what we should call this. Crisis after crisis economics. I mean, that's the only way they know how to keep the system going. And every crisis right now is being engineered to keep the debt-based economic model going, to find another mechanism to pull cash from the future. Because the moment we stop, the whole thing implodes, and we literally go back to a Mad Max scenario. And I think that's what they actually want. So they can introduce a completely new system. We already have a one world government. They've already established that, okay? You have no representation. Nowhere in the world do people have any representation by puppet governments. The real government is central banks. They've already established that. This has been their goal for over 100 years. To one point become the lenders and buyers of last resort, to rule the world. Now that they have that in place, they need something major to occur, and maybe that is going to be another world war, to, again, usher in a completely new system with a lot more control and a lot less people to control. I think we all understand where this is going. There's going to be a culling of the global population on an epic biblical scale. And this is all going to come about with the bursting of the debt bubble. It's already set up. It's just a matter of how it's going to play out, how they're going to allow it, or how they're going to foster it. Okay, this is at their behest. They're going to allow this to happen when they finish wiping out the middle class, in my view, and they're not done. They're not done doing that. So I think you and I have a great perspective, understanding where this is going, what we should be doing about it, at least from a financial standpoint. But you got to be prepared from every standpoint. You got to have provisions set aside, a plan. You got to get together with like-minded people. You got to make friends with people in your neighborhood so you can rely on each other. We're going to need each other more than ever, people, and we do now. Again, stop letting them divide and conquer us, okay? How many people, I wonder, do you interact with in your own neighborhood? More than likely, not too many. More than likely, you go to work, you interact with some people at work, and they're probably, acquaintances, not too many actual friends or people you can rely on. Let's change all that. We need each other. We got to come together here. This whole thing is leading up to a climax of truly epic proportions. All right, look, I'm out here. You got the story. Keep your eyes on this stuff. 10-year yield very specifically. Let's wait for it to get above 3. It's going to get there very, very, very soon. Maybe even by the end of the week. We're going to see. Anyway, with that said, I'm out of here. Love you a lot. Share the video and please comment.